Welcome to Bay to Bay, the program that highlights Toastmasters from San Francisco to Monterey Bay. Do you have a career goal you'd like to accelerate? Have you thought it might be fun to actually perform and entertain? Well, Bay to Bay gives you a slice of, a showcase actually, of what Toastmasters can do to help boost your talent, accelerate your career, and gain new skills. Not only is it a showcase of skill, but Toastmasters is a learning lab, a place where people come together in community to take on new challenges and to get support. And you're going to see all of that tonight in this show. We have two experienced speakers. We're having comedy and some drama tonight. And our first speaker is, is Becky Shafi. Becky is a humorous speech contestant. She is going to reprise a speech that is a contest winner at multiple levels in the Bay Area in Toastmasters. Please welcome Becky Shafi. Becky, and your speech is Going to the Dogs, is that right?
That's right.
Becky.
I love Google. I do. I love it. Whenever I type in www.google.com and that white page comes up with that blank field just beckoning me to enter my heart's desire, I get all excited. I love to enter a question, hit return, and get millions of results. It's like magic. But my favorite is typing in really tough questions. Questions that get at the true meaning of life. Questions that get at the essence of who we are as human beings. Questions like, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Because before the internet and Google, how would we ever have known that an intrepid, enterprising soul somewhere has taken the time to calculate the chucking capacity of a woodchuck and have posted the answer online so we can find it on Google? Amazing. So that now and for all posterity, we will forever know that a woodchuck would chuck 700 pounds of wood if a woodchuck could chuck wood. It's true. The other day I was typing in another of my true to the meaning of life questions. What's the difference between cat people and dog people? Because this question keeps me up at night. It does. Because I am a self-described dog person. I love my dog. And I can't quite understand cat people. Because really, who wouldn't love to come home after a hard day at work, open the door, and there's the dog? Oh my God, you're home. I missed you. I missed you and I love you and I want to kiss you, kiss you, kiss you, kiss you. Who wouldn't love that? Cat people, on the other hand, come home after a hard day at work. They open the door, and there's the cat. Oh, it's you. Great. How was your day? I don't really care. Excuse me, I have somewhere to go. Excuse me. Cats, right? I don't get it. So I typed my question into Google, and the results came back, and you'll be pleased to know, as was I, that there have been several university studies to get to the heart of this burning question. It's true. And you'll be further pleased to know, as was I, that the results of the study showed that dog people are in the majority. 47% of us say we are dog people, while only 12% of us say we are cat people. And then there's a very strange group of people who say they are both cat and dog, whatever. And another group of people who say they are neither cat nor dog. They've elected to remain Switzerland on the cat-dog issue. But regardless, dog people were in the majority. And dog people were found to be more extroverted and more conscientious than cat people. Go dogs. While cat people were found to be more neurotic, yeah, but more open. We'll give them that. But I was happy to get this information because I actually believe that more of us should be more like dogs. I do, and I'll give you some examples. For example, when people meet each other or greet each other for the first time, we're a little bit kind of, nice to meet you, nice to meet you. And cats are even worse. Cats are like, oh, I don't see you there. I don't acknowledge you. Don't look at me, don't even look at me. But dogs know how to greet each other. Dogs are like, look at you. You're so cute. You're so cute, and I love you, and I want to kiss you, kiss you, kiss you. We could learn from the dogs. And another thing we could learn from the dogs is if we took the time to enjoy more of life's simple pleasures, like sitting on a lap, chasing a ball, sticking our heads out the window, or just lying in the sun. I love to watch my dog when she lies in the sun. She is queen of that backyard. She is soaking up the rays. She is in that moment. And we could learn from this. And the final way I believe we could be more like dogs is if we were never too shy to ask for affection. My dog is never too shy. Anytime, day or night, she plops herself at my feet. She rolls over and she says, rub my tummy, rub my tummy. She's a girl who knows what she wants, and she gets it. And I so admire that about her. People, on the other hand, we have a harder time asking for affection, don't we? We come home from a hard day at work when all we want is a bubble bath and a back rub, and we open the door and we see our human counterpart, and very often something very strange comes out of our mouth. Something that we hadn't intended to say at all. Something that might sound a little bit like this. Who left the dirty socks in the hallway? And who let the dogs out? Who? Who? But that's not what we meant to say, was it? What we meant to say was something that would have sounded a little more like this. I had a hard day, just give me a hug. Things are often getting lost in translation with humans, but not with dogs. And that's why I believe the world would be a much better place if people were more like dogs. So I typed it into Google. What would the world be like if people were more like dogs? And the answers came back. We would greet each other with unbridled enthusiasm. We would take the time to enjoy more of life's simple pleasures. We would never be too shy to ask for affection. And finally, we'd spend a lot less time searching for the meaning of life on Google. Master Toastmasters.
Becky, how marvelous.
Thank you.
I really would like you to know that I'm a dog person.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. It's so great to hear your speech. It was wonderful.
Thank you.
And did you really invent this speech through Google research?
I did, actually. I had to
did?
do a lot of research for this.
Ah. Now, this was a funny speech, and I saw the speech title, and I thought, oh, she's going to tell the adorable stories of, dogs and cats, and it'll be pretty regular. But you surprised me because you brought humans into it. You brought, what if we were like dogs, and what if we were so accepting? Has that changed your thinking, just developing and giving this speech?
It has, actually, because I do admire so many things about my dog.
Yeah.
I mean, when she can enjoy just sitting in the sun, and I very rarely take the time to do that. And
You don't sit in the sun with your dog?
very rarely. I watch her sit in the sun.
And one last really quick question. What about the cat folks? Are they okay with your speech? Have you made peace?
Several of them don't like my speech. I'm sorry, I do like cats.
Thank you so much. What a delightful speech,
Thank you,
Becky.
thank you.
And now to share his evaluation of Becky's speech and offer potential improvements, which might be challenging. Bernard Arias, the PR officer for all of District 4 Toastmasters. Bernard, welcome.
Thank you. Becky, what I really loved about your speech was that happy-go-lucky energy. And what I like especially about that is that, for me, it was like you were the dog in that story that you were telling us. As you were comparing and drawing a parallel between dogs and cats and people. I just loved the way that you presented that and how you became essentially that dog. A very happy-go-lucky kind of dog. This was very entertaining. I found it very entertaining. I heard chuckles and laughter throughout. Part of your objective was, of course, to be an entertaining speaker. There's a lot of sparkle to your presentation, which adds also to that entertainment value, I think. You also had a very good pace as you went throughout your presentation. And you moved nicely as you spoke. Your gestures were very directed. In particular, What I liked was when you used the motion for the handshake, or when you were describing the particular behaviors of the dog or the cat. You really took on those personalities, and I really enjoyed that. That kept my eye on you. Now, if I were to offer something for you to improve, I'd have, first of all, a very difficult time with it. But what I would say, you did use the room fairly well. Now maybe you could reach out even further out, because most of the time you remained right here at the very center. And you did a little dance right around here, which was good, but maybe you can stretch yourself a little and reach out over to the other side, and then maybe come over here. You had very, very good eye contact, but by reaching over to the other side and pausing, maybe that could extend your reach to the audience. I like how you did begin, how you brought us back to the beginning of the story, and I think that that really wrapped it up very nicely. Somehow I would have liked to have heard a little bit more of the cats and dogs at the beginning and at the end. I don't know why, but I was very much entertained. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Bernard. Well, this is our first slice of the Learning Lab of Toastmasters, and now in our middle segment, we are going to roll a recorded video of Cheryl Rausch talking about how Toastmasters not only improved her speaking skills, but turned into a professional career.
If you were to look at each other right now and say, yep, I'm a spark.
Yep, I'm a spark.
I love Toastmaster audiences. We are the best. No, we really are, because all it takes is a spark to rekindle that.
I do professional coaching, whether it is for marketing, consulting, publishing, because now I've written 13 books and own a publishing company, as well as professional speaking and media interview skills for clients including the San Diego Chargers.
My icebreaker, how many O's did you have in your icebreaker? Holler it out. How many did you have? 45. 45? Did you really, Tony? Thank you for sticking with the program. Mine was only 19.
I've been referred to as the poster child of Toastmasters because my first 3 speeches, I cried. I had tears flooding down my face, not of joy, definitely of nervousness. And thanks to what I've learned in this organization and all the loving and support, I've been able to turn that around, where today I speak in front of groups of thousands of people and keynote close big conferences. It's been a world of good in helping me to find who I am and enhance my own communication and leadership skills. I would not be doing what I'm doing today, nor at the caliber, had it not been for Toastmasters International.
Sparkletude booster number 2. Have only positive thoughts toward yourself and others.
Sparkletude came as a result of seeing that people needed to have more of a positive attitude in their lives. So Sparkletude really means having a sparkling attitude. And it comes from experiences in my own life of having a tragic beginning and now turning it around to help serve others, including individuals and organizations.
Remember how we used to hear garbage in, garbage out? Do you remember hearing that? They lied. It's not true. It's garbage in, garbage sticks. Be really careful what you allow into your subconscious mind. Guard it. That is your supercomputer. And besides that, any day above ground is a good day.
I'm often asked why I joined this organization. I thought it was to become a better employer for those people who worked in my business. I thought that the feedback and the evaluation process that I could learn would be very beneficial to them. I did not know it would make me not only a more effective communicator, but also a better leader, not only in my business, but in my community and in my world.
Now, I know it's powerful in our program that we give feedback. We give positive feedback. I don't even use the word criticism, because Will Rogers once said that it's literally putting your thumb down on someone else. In our organization, we don't put people down, we build them up. We build people.
Toastmasters really changed my life. I had no idea what was in store. As a result of the path that I've taken and how I've really embraced this program, it's made me a better human being and really focused on service to the entire world. It's changed my life, and it'll change anyone else's life who comes into our organization, and we welcome them.
Welcome back. Our second speaker today is preparing for the International Toastmaster Speaking Contest, and I'm going to give him the formal contest introduction. Please welcome Dan Beck, Finding the Right Career for You. Finding the Right Career for You, Dan Beck.
I was on a United States Navy warship at the controls of a fully automatic weapon. I saw a group of smaller, unidentified boats approaching. My palms sweated, my heart beat, and as I moved my finger closer to the trigger, I turned to the older, more experienced individual next to me for guidance. And though I was only 8 years old, that experienced individual next to me was my mother, and that ship was a museum in New York City. That visit ignited a spark that led to a burning passion for serving in the military. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, I parlayed that passion into a wonderfully fulfilling portion of my working career by spending 7 years of my life as a naval officer. And I believe that whatever career that we as individuals decide on, in order for a career to be fulfilling, it should have 3 elements: passion, challenge, and meaning. The passion was in me from an early age. The challenge was in the responsibility that I was given as a young officer. Shortly after graduating from the Naval Academy, I was assigned to a ship, placed in charge of 20 sailors, almost all of whom were more experienced than me. I had to earn their trust, their loyalty, and make decisions that would affect their lives. The other part of my time, I was in the ship's pilot house, learning how to drive and navigate a 1.5 football field long warship. And every day that I put that uniform on, I knew I was there to work for a cause that I believed in. Because I feel that the United States military is the greatest force for good the world has ever known. But as much as I enjoyed the responsibility of leading sailors, of driving billion-dollar warships around the globe, and the sense of purpose that the military gave me, I eventually realized I couldn't spend my whole career there. It occurred to me as I was leaving on my first deployment, I was a young, unencumbered 23-year-old, so ready to go overseas and fight for my country. But I saw the older, married men kissing their tear-stained wives and children goodbye, not knowing when or if they were going to see each other again. Some of their wives were pregnant, and those fathers wouldn't be there to see their children be born, or their toddlers take their first steps, or even to comfort their loved ones in times of need. And I thought, those are better men than me, because I won't be able to do that one day, to say goodbye for so long. And over time, that desire to fight, that longing for combat and adventure was replaced by the desire to start a family. And so it was time to find something else to do, something else where I could find a similar level of passion, challenge, and meaning. Once my commitment was up, I left the military and went to business school. And when I was in business school, I noticed I loved thinking about businesses. And the people who spend their day doing that are investors, money managers. So I started my own investment partnership. And the passion is there because every day I get to spend understanding how corporations work, how they create value from nothing. The challenge is there because I have to put together a portfolio of securities for my investors that will increase in value over time, and there are thousands to choose from that I have to analyze. And while I struggle to find the same level of meaning that my prior career had, I do believe that preserving and growing the store of value that my clients have accumulated over their lives is a meaningful endeavor. My current career has one other advantage that my prior one didn't, and that's the flexibility and freedom, independence with my time, which will be wonderful when I one day want to start a family. I'm still looking for the girl who wants to start that family with me. And I do take referrals. But ladies and gentlemen, let my life illustrate that if you take the time to find where your passion lies, in a role that challenges you on a regular basis, and where there's some type of meaning or contribution to the greater good, you too can be as excited to wake up and get to work each day as I was this very morning. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you very much for your service.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure.
So you've made big transitions, maybe bigger transitions than most people in the audience. How did you, when your time was up and you decided to come out, how did you go to one particular area? What was leading you there?
What was leading me there was, in some sense, it was other people I'd known who had got out and gone to business school. In another sense, it was this desire that there's skills from the military that can be applied in the business world. And those were some of the things that got me headed down the business path. And then when I was in business school is when I did a lot more thinking about more specifically what did I want to do as an investor.
So I do notice a parallel here because, well, in your opening story, and you did have me all the way, I was thinking a whole different scene than with Mom. There is an element of risk, stress, need to lead, and same for investment. It's a high-stakes game. You get some excitement out of that.
It is, but at the end of the day, it's a different game, and it's a different type of stress and a different type of mentality, but dealing with stress, I think, is one common element to both. The big thing is that in investing, you choose your points of action, whereas in the military, you always have to be prepared.
And in speech making, is that harder or easier than investing?
It's challenging as well.
Great job, Dan. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
To share her evaluation of Dan's speech and offer him suggestions, we have distinguished Toastmaster Sharon Corgile. Sharon, please come up. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, and thank you, Dan, for a wonderful speech. Finding a career that's right for you. That's a big title. And I am going to evaluate you as what I know is an experienced speaker. And not just an experienced speaker, a former officer in the military. And I know that it can be brutal in the military, former Navy brat. I thought the title, it's a great title, but it was a little bit long, hard to remember, and there was a little bit of a disconnect from the title and your speech. I think you brought it in play at the end, but we waited a long time to get to it. You had beautiful descriptions when you talked about the tear-stained faces of the wives who were being left behind. That was very moving, very touching. But once again, I think what I want to see in a contest speech is the focus of what is it exactly that you want to tell us? What is the one thing that you want us to take away from this speech? And once you figure that out, everything else move it to the side, and focus like a laser on that point. So you had good delivery, strong voice, emotion, all those things I thought you did very, very well. Content on the speech is king in this case, in a contest speech. Bring forward toward the top of the speech a little bit more of the WIFM, the what's in it for me, so that we hear your story, but at points remind us that there's something coming that's going to be for us. Okay? So those are the things that I would suggest, recommend for making that speech even more powerful than it already is. But once again, good delivery, great little bits of humor, and to kind of lighten the topic a little bit. I thought your conclusion was very strong. I love that. You'll be as excited as I was this morning. It was unexpected, it was strong, it was humorous, and it reminded us that you're talking about finding a career that really works for us in our hearts, minds, souls. So very great speech, a lot of potential there, and I look forward to hearing the final version. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Sharon. We've seen a showcase of Toastmasters who have taken us from humor, from delightful, playful humor that goes in unexpected directions and really helps us to reflect on our lives through the beauty of humor. And we have seen some moments that, frankly, gives a lump to your throat. These are speeches that were created from nothing in Toastmasters with the support and the advice of club members in these respective clubs. There are many people who think they will never be able to achieve this kind of speech or this kind of creativity. You can do it with Toastmasters, and if you're interested in, one can find out more about Toastmasters in the Bay Area and the Bay to Bay program, please check us out on d4tm.org and join us again for another episode of Bay to Bay. Thank you.